Hey folks, how you doing? Uncle Jesse here. How's everybody from Chelsea? My family and friends and fans. I'm on the corner. I'm doing a short video today. I just came out of the doctor's office on 14th Street, and I decided to make a little bit of a walking tour over here in Chelsea. I am standing right now in almost in the corner of 15th Street and 8th Avenue. It's kind of noisy out here, but as you may know, Chelsea borders off at 14th Street, so everything going north from 14th Street. I hope you can hear me. Anyway, everything going north from 14th Street up all the way up to 34th Street is part of Chelsea. So I'm going to be showing you around a little bit. Let me move over to the corner here. Hopefully, okay, it's a little bit more quiet. Okay, it's a little bit more quiet over here, definitely over here. So I'm in the corner of now 15th Street and 8th Avenue, and I'm going to show you the old Port Authority building that now Google actually owns it. And let me show this camera around. There you go. That's the building. That's the old Port Authority building, if people who remember. And there goes the Google building now. And that building that you see straight down there used to be. It's actually on 16th Street, and that's all a new building. And a lot of things have changed around here. And let me flick this camera around again, and let me go. I'm gonna go to 14th Street now, and I'm gonna show you over here. This is where if anybody remembers the old Spanish restaurant La Taza. La Taza here. And now it's a building there, and I believe the Taza might have been over here when they tore the building down. I believe so. I'm not too sure if it was over here or over here. I think it was over here. But anyway, the Taza, everybody knows, if you're from Chelsea, you got to remember that. On the corner of 14th Street, there's been a bank here forever. I forgot the name of the original bank, but it's one of those old type of banks. And now it's still a bank, but it's just that it's let me see, it's called HSBC. So this is the bank here, and this is the old entrance, and this is one of those banks that with those high ceilings and really banks. Okay, and then across the street there used to be another bank. Now it's a museum. It's called the Museum of Illusions. And on this side here, where CVS is, used to be another bank. So there was three banks. And look at the structure, people. Look at the structure of this building. How it's so different from now the banks that we know nowadays. These were when banks were like really, really big and huge, and the ceilings were high, and it was dim. It was kind of intimidating when I was a kid going into these banks. It really was. And oh, excuse me. I got this mask on and I'm talking, and it's nice out here, folks. Now this building here, it's in the corner of it's on the southeast corner of 14th Street and 8th Avenue. This used to be a deli for many years, and there was a pool hall on top, and there was a couple of stores. So they tore the whole building down, and this is what's going up. Okay, this is 14th Street, which has changed a lot, and it definitely has changed a lot. So anyway, folks, I'm gonna take you a walk down to 14th Street and show you around down there. So stay tuned. So I'm walking down 14th Street toward 9th Avenue, and let me just show you this building there. That medical building's been there forever, and these are the residential buildings, and a lot of things have changed, but for the basics, the buildings still look the same. A lot of them have been renovated, and but basically it looks the same. I'm approaching Redding's funeral home, and this Redding's funeral home has been here for many times. Unfortunately, I've been there a bunch of times to visit friends and family from Chelsea, and too many times that I don't want to remember. But that's Redding's funeral home, which has been there for a long time. And across the street is the Our Lady of Guadalupe, which moved over here. It used to be the old Saint Bernard, and now it's the Our Lady of Guadalupe, which used to be up the block, and they moved it down here. So that's where that is right now. So they changed the Saint Bernard. I think it was called Saint Bernard, and now it's Our Lady of Guadalupe Church. So I'm standing actually in front of the funeral home, going across the street, and there goes a hearse, and I'm gonna get away from it. And let's see, there's a couple of new buildings down here. There's definitely a couple of new buildings. If you can see, I'll show you some. There's a lot of renovation being done. Okay, there's two dogs about to start fighting here. So, there they go. So this building is down here. You can see 335 14th Street, and it's kind of quiet down here, I guess, because the pandemic. It's usually busy. Let me show you. There's a building there across the street that I'm not too familiar with. There we go, right there. Now this building here used to be, for those who remember, this building here used to be a beer distributor called Serrano's, and then I think for a while it was a Met supermarket, and it was I know there was a bicycle place. I think it might have been Stuyvesant Bike or something. I remember buying inner tubes for bicycle seats, bicycle tires over here. So now it's a I don't know what it is, some kind of restaurant which looks like it's closed down. So so I've actually reached 14th Street and 9th Avenue. Okay. Now in the corner of I'm in the corner of 14th and I'm in the corner of 14th and 9th Avenue. And let me flip this around. Look at this building there. Look at this new building. This is amazing. They used to have I think a lumber yard in the corner there, and now they turned it into, I don't know, it looks like an office building. And so that's on the corner of 15th Street, and you can see the Chelsea Market back down there. If you look real good, if I zoom in there, that's the Chelsea Market. Okay. And then on the corner, of course, is the Apple Store. These used to be all kind of meat markets and all kind of stuff. And this is that square right there, and the hotel in the background there for many years. The bus stop there. That's Abingdon Square, whatever the hell it is. I can never pronounce that name. So, folks, there's a little square here. In the middle of coming down 9th Avenue, there's a square here, and it divides the traffic, and it goes to traffic. The traffic used to go northbound, now it comes down southbound, and this side is closed, and it's a pedestrian plaza now. And then across the street you can see the Chelsea pier, Chelsea Mall there, and the Chelsea Market. And you can see some big buildings in the background, some of the new buildings coming from the Hudson Yards back there. And there goes the other side of the Port Authority building, which is the Google building now. And there goes the Apple Store. And these used to, for those people who remember the old time in Chelsea, these used to be all meat markets. And you would come down here and you would see this, you could smell the meats, and you could, the raw meats. And you would see these butchers working hard and all bloodied up. And, the meats hanging off of racks, being shifted in. It was kind of scary when I used to come down here as a kid, and it was kind of scary. But now it's all new. And look at this. Look at these buildings. These are all the old meat markets, and there's no more meat markets down here left. And so, yep. So, folks, these are all new stores here behind me. These are where, look at these clothing stores and stuff. This is where meat markets used to be. And let me camera on. Look at these fancy stores. This is where Western Beef was, actually. This is the old Western Beef. And Western Beef supermarket. And no longer there. there's a bunch of fancy clothing stores down here. It's crazy. And all these new buildings. And I'm telling you. So there's no more meat markets. The meat market district is gone. And I don't know where they went to, I'm not sure. But they're not down here. And all these buildings have been, these are all old buildings that have been renovated. There's some residential buildings on top. There's some stores. And it's amazing. I mean, I used to hang out down here in my days, and you know, I won't give you any details, but you can imagine. And it was completely different. It really was. So actually, I'm walking down. I'm walking westbound toward 10th Avenue, and now I've reached. I'm on 14th and Washington Street, which is actually starts at Washington Street. Washington Street actually starts down on 14th Street, 14th and 14th Street off of 10th Avenue. Washington Street starts. It's like in between. So again, there's a couple of hotels here, buildings, quite amazing. I'm in the corner of Washington Street and 14th, and I'm going to flip the camera around and show you some of these new buildings. Look at that. That's a new building on the corner of 10th Avenue, 14th Street. There goes the High Line. There's an entrance to the High Line there. These were all meat markets. All meat markets, and you can still see the structure, which is nice. Look at this hotel there. There's a hotel there. Look how big that is. That's down by the meat markets. And the awnings. That's what I wanted to say. The awnings here. Some of it have been left up, which is nice because it just keeps some of the old structure alive. And so this is Washington. I'm going to walk up to Washington Street and show you. So folks, there you go. Some of the old awnings still there. And I'm walking underneath with these awnings. And there's a store here that sells motorcycles. And let me show you. Look at that. Okay. So there's a lot of fancy stores here, folks. A lot of fancy stores. Clothing stores. Look at that. These are all the old meat markets, folks. Where the old meat markets were. Look at the difference. This used to be a ghost town. At a certain time, after the after the butchers would finish up cutting up their meats, it was a whole different neighborhood, and there was all kind of weird people down here, you know. And but it was fun. To me, it was fun. Oh, there's a store there across the street that sells the Tesla cars. I'm telling you, this is amazing down here. Look at this building in the corner here, sort of made of glass. Okay. Now, folks, I am off limit from Chelsea right now because Chelsea actually goes up to 14th Street. But still, we remember, you guys remember, so I'm doing this video. And down here, and look at this building up here, top of, this is built in top of this old structure of where the meat markets used to be. So look at that. Look at that. Look at this building right here. Look at the structure of this building. And the High Line actually goes right underneath. You can see the rail, and that's where the High Line goes up to. And I'm gonna walk up to 12th Avenue. I'm gonna walk up to 12th Avenue and show you how it looked. This new pier they're building down there, how it looks. So stay tuned. If you want to buy a Tesla, this is the place to be. This is the Tesla store. Across the street, there's some kind of restaurant out there. There's an old phone booth there that's called it's for decoration, I guess. Tesla, electric cars. Look at that. So, folks, I'm walking toward the to West Side Highway, to 12th Avenue, and I'm going to show you I forgot the number of this pier, but this is the pier that the Titanic, if it would have made it to New York, this is where it was going to disembark. And unfortunately, you know, it sunk on its way, hitting an iceberg. One of biggest tragedies in history. And the Titanic is always, I've always been amazed by, you know, what happened, and the sadness, and, you know, and what could have happened. Could these people have been saved? You know, it's just a lot of questions and stuff. Anyway, folks, I'm down here. This is all new to me. I'm down here by this pier where the Titanic was supposed to disembark, and they're fixing it up. I don't know what's going on. It looks kind of weird. And let me show you. Let me show you. Okay, so look at this. Look at these structures here. It's some kind of cement structures, and this is the pier. And that arch you see there is the original pier. That's what it looked like. And I guess they're leaving it up because this is the original pier that was covered up, and that was supposed to be the pier where the Titanic, if it would have made it, this way it was going to disembark. And it probably would have went first to Ellis Island, I believe, and then it would have went down to it would have came down here. For those who remember this hotel here, the Liberty Inn. It's still called the Liberty Inn. Oh, look at that. The Liberty Inn Hotel. I know people spend nights there. That building back there used to be Nabisco, the Nabisco company, I believe, yeah. And then if you can look up there, you can see some of those buildings in the Hudson Yards down there. And again, I'm standing on 12th Street, actually. And look at this building. This building used to be all meat markets, and no longer. They tore everything down, and this is a whole new glass building. Look at it. Look at this building. And I remember specifically where here was a bunch of meat markets behind me, and now it's a building. So, and then I'm going to show you, I'm going to flip you around. This is the Whitney Museum. That structure you see up there, the glass with those things on top, that's the new Whitney Museum. It's been there for a couple of years. I don't know, 4 or 5 years or so. You see some of the piers are shut down. They're still fixing the piers, and there's a lot of work that's been involved in it. And let me try again so you can see that. You can bring this out here, the structure of this hotel down here. Look at this. So I'm on I'm on 12th Street, I believe, and this is all changed, folks. It's amazing. It really is. It's really amazing. I'm gonna walk up to 14th Street, and so, folks, the Liberty Inn. A lot of crazy stuff used to happen in there, and it was one of those quickie hotels. And let me show you. You know, you picked up somebody, you took them to the Liberty Inn. Oh, and there used to be a club down here in the bottom. I think it was called the Advil or something like that. And yeah, for many years. If you ever watch the movie Cruising, Al Pacino actually goes with a guy into this hotel to, you know, they get it on, and you know, he was working undercover, and the cops came in. The Liberty Inn. Wow, I didn't think that still existed. It's past all those times. Across the street, folks, over here where there's like a park, like there used to be a car wash there many years ago. There used to be an Army and Navy store. There used to be a restaurant, a clothing store, many years ago, and that's all torn down. And again, that big building is the Nabisco Biscuit Company, original company. That was between 10th Avenue and 11th, because that's 11th Avenue there, and you can see that. I can see the sign from here. It says 11th Avenue. Okay, and then it actually further up, it sort of shifts over and then becomes 12th Avenue, and then 11th, and then 10th, and on and on. So across the street here, I'm going to show you as soon as the light changes. Because, so folks, across the street used to be a gas station, and then for a while I think there was a car wash moved across the street or something like that, but I'll show you, I'll zoom you in. Now I don't know what's in there. There's something, it's a whole glass structure there, building underneath, and the High Line runs on top. And this used to be a gas station there, and I think the car wash moved there for a while or something like that. But now it's all different, it's a whole glass structure, and like I said, I'll around and show you. and then the High Line is on top. There goes part of the High Line going up, and then there goes that building again. Look how big that thing is, and that building's old, and that building's been there for a while. And the Chelsea Market is down there. That brown building is the Chelsea Market, and this is cars coming off the West Side Highway, the Liberty Inn. Well, folks, it's getting cold now. I'm underneath the structure. I'm actually underneath the High Line here, and I'm walking toward 9th Avenue. And this is some of the staircases they have up to the High Line, and I believe the High Line is closed. I believe it's closed, and this is the staircase that takes you up to the High Line, and you can see it in the background. And I believe it's closed now. And there's a bunch of new stores down here. Building for lease. It's amazing. This is all meat markets. This used to be all old meat markets. Look at that. If you got money, you can put up a building there. You can lease the building and put something there. I would see, put up a this is a gallery here. Look at that. It's a gallery. I would actually lease one of these buildings and make the Chelsea Museum. How do you like that, huh? The Chelsea Museum, with all kind of artifacts and stories of people from Chelsea and some famous people from Chelsea, like myself. But folks, this is all different, and here it goes. So folks, got a truck coming here, almost ran me over. Okay. So folks, I'm on 14th Street going back up to 9th Avenue, and I hope you've I don't want to make this video too long because I might not be able to upload it, but this is one of my short walking tours in Chelsea, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Let me show you some of this these structures here. If I can get behind here, let me see. Look at these buildings. Look at that one in top. That's on 15th Street. Okay. And again, these are all. This is, look, they got a post office down here. Wow, a post office down here. There's a lot of businesses that are out for lease because I guess the pandemic is, but there's an ASIC here because where the sports stores, Patagonia. So there's a lot of new stores and stuff down here. This is a sporting goods store or something. I don't know what the hell. Interstack. There's a lot of this, but these are all original meat markets that are no longer there, and the meat markets are gone, completely gone. There's not a single meat market left down here. And let me just show you the street. There's another store here with the winter clothing. I mean, I don't know who shops down here. I don't know. But the corner. Folks, so I'm going to show you one more time the old Homestead. I forgot to mention that when I was down here. The old Homestead Steakhouse is still there. And let me zoom you in on that. And that cow is still up there. That cow's been there since I was a kid. God knows how long before that. And that cow hasn't grown, and it's still alive. It's still around. And that's the old Homestead Steakhouse. Definitely a historical Chelsea. And there goes the Google building again. That's the 9th Avenue side. And that's it. Well, folks, I hope you guys enjoyed this this little video on Chelsea. It's a 25-minute video, and one of my walking tours in Chelsea. And remember, Chelsea starts, if you look it up, it starts on 34th Street and runs down to 14th Street. That's the border, and it comes from the river up to I believe 6th Avenue, 7th Avenue. I'm not too sure on that, but I know it starts off on 34th, comes down to 14th Street. That is the Chelsea neighborhood. So anyway, folks, this is Uncle Jesse from Chelsea, and I hope you guys enjoyed this walking tour, and I'm going to do another one, and I hope you guys enjoy. Stay safe, and love you guys.